We are going to revisit what I think is at the heart of today's readings in a little bit different order than we just heard them. In that first reading we heard, "This is the commandment we have from him. Whoever loves God must also love his brother. If anyone says, 'I love God,' but hates his brother, he is a liar. In this way we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey his commandments. For the love of God is this, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome." I think for anyone who struggles to forgive someone who has hurt them, I think the temptation is almost to scoff, right, at today's readings. And to say something like, his commandments are not burdensome? Like, I have to forgive that person. I have to forgive that person who hurt me. That person who I know was in the wrong. Maybe that person who I believe knew exactly what they were doing and did not care how it would affect me, how it would hurt me. And not only do I have to forgive them, I have to love them. I think the natural response is to ask the question, how? How is that not burdensome? And in response to that, as difficult as this may be to hear, I think there's wisdom in this phrase I've heard in thinking this way, right? Holding on to a hurt and refusing to forgive someone is like drinking poison and expecting it to harm the other person. In other words, not being able to forgive often does more damage to us, more than it does to the person we struggle to forgive. But this is precisely where we can experience the Lord's love in powerful and very deeply healing ways. There's this beautiful paragraph of the Catechism that addresses this very topic. Paragraph 2843 says this: "It is not in our power not to feel or to forget an offense, but the heart that offers itself to the Holy Spirit turns injury in compassion and purifies the memory in transforming the hurt into intercession." In other words, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, those who have hurt you. It is not in our power not to feel or to forget that hurt, but the heart that offers itself to the Holy Spirit can experience the power of the Holy Spirit. And it helps us receive Jesus' words in today's gospel as true, that he really did come to proclaim liberty to captives, to let those oppressed, even by the burden of struggling to forgive those who have hurt us, that we too might go free. It is not in our power. We need his power. We need his love to be able to forgive in this way. So for those of us here who are struggling to forgive somebody in our lives, myself included, Today, this invitation is to ask for the grace to offer our heart to the Holy Spirit so that we might experience that transformation that is being held out for us today. That we might actually be able to pray for those who have hurt us and one day grow to love them, praying that the Lord's love would bring peace, would bring healing to those places of our hearts that may be hardened at this moment, to be softened by his tender, merciful love.